Hey, Fromily. Here I am again with another theory on our favorite psychotic TV show, From. And I know that we are all suffering from withdrawal symptoms. And so I thought in order to get a little bit of our From feel, I would do some theories, some analysis on different open questions. So today, we're going to be talking about something that is blowing up in the fandom, and that is if Ethan could be the man in yellow. Now, before I tell you what I think, I'm going to give you analysis for both, yes, he could be the man in yellow, or no, absolutely not. Are you crazy? He's not the man in yellow. All right. So let's build our case for Ethan being the man in yellow. Now, I want to start out by saying that this theory is not canon, but it is thematically strong. And we know that From loves thematic clues. So the first one is the yellow symbolism. Ethan is one of the only characters that consistently is associated with wearing the color yellow. And the man in yellow's defining trait is, well, yellow. Symbolic color coding in From is deliberate. I mean, the boy in white, red jackets, blue flowers, blah, 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 blah. We could go on and on. This makes Ethan the only long-term character visually aligned with the man in yellow. Ethan's story logic awareness. So Ethan interprets the town through story rules, not reality. He instinctively understands danger. He understands the talismans. Basically, if it's a rule, Ethan understands it. And he understands it faster than any of the adults. This mirrors the man in yellow's meta awareness. Like, he knows the story, he knows the loops, and ultimately he knows the outcomes. This is an inference-based character behavior, not confirmed fact. Now, what about when Sarah says that the voices told her to kill the boy? In season 1, the voices tell Sarah to kill the boy. And the fandom widely assumes this directive to be about Ethan. And basically, if Ethan grows up to be the man in yellow, a being who disrupts or threatens the entire system, killing him early presents that specific future. This fits the way From does like a bootstrap paradox logic. Now, there's the trauma metamorphosis. Ethan experiences extreme trauma, monsters, death, visions, and danger. And as we know, From often uses trauma as transformation. The man in yellow is a being shaped by suffering, which could be a future Ethan hardened by all of the things the town has thrown at him. And then it's the time loop logic. From repeatedly hints at all of these loops. I mean, Julie's story walking, Tabitha returning to Camden, Victor's decades of drawings. If Ethan becomes the man in yellow, it creates a clean paradox. The man in yellow guides Ethan. Ethan grows into the man in yellow. The man in yellow exists because Ethan exists. This is very speculative, though. It is absolutely thematically aligned with how From does things. But there's always an opposite. So let's build the case against Ethan being the man in yellow. These points, in my opinion, rely on confirmed canon facts, specifically from season 4. Now, we all know from the opening scene of season 4, episode 1, it confirms that the man in yellow can shapeshift. And he just basically chose Sophia's form. This is not a metaphor, it is literal. And Ethan has never shown any shape-shifting abilities. The man in yellow predates the Matthews family, and in my opinion, this is huge. See, he was the voice on Jim's radio in season 1. He is present in Miranda's paintings. And he's also involved in the monster's immortality pact. All of these things happened before Ethan even arrived. The man in yellow is likely decades old. And in my opinion, how can we forget the fact that this entity is decades upon decades old? His clothing resembles older period appropriate attire, and fan theories supported by the show's clues suggest he may be connected to the lighthouse or its past keepers. This implies an origin long before Ethan was even born. The man in yellow operates with adult physicality. I mean, he slits Jim's throat. He drags bodies. He infiltrates as an adult-sized entity. Even if Ethan grew up, the timeline does not allow him to be an adult man in yellow now. And then here's another one. The showrunner's confirmation. Basically, the man in yellow is not omniscient, but is actively shape-shifting. The showrunners state that the man in yellow is learning in real time, creating conditions that call people back, and he's fueled by suffering. This describes a supernatural architect, not a child, evolving into one. And then the man in yellow's infiltration strategy requires knowledge Ethan simply doesn't have. He chooses Sophia specifically because she has relationships inside the town. This requires a deep knowledge of the township's history and identities that Ethan has never even experienced or encountered. So, my final verdict. Ethan could be the man in yellow symbolically, or in a future self paradox theory, and the show's themes support that kind of plot. But based on confirmed season 4 canon, the man in yellow is a shape-shifting older man deeply embedded in supernatural themes with knowledge and abilities that Ethan just does not possess. So the canon-supported answer is Ethan is not the man in yellow. At least not the current one. All right, guys, you know what I'm going to say. Drop down in those comments and tell me what you think. And don't forget to hang your talismans.